We're Tap, and we're in Parma, Italy, taking an all-day Parmigiano Reggiano, Prosciutto di Parma Ham, and Traditional Balsamic Vinegar tour.
So come along with us as we go behind the scenes to see how local artisans produce these Italian culinary masterpieces. Tanya and Pete here, and thanks for watching.
In this video, we're in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy to experience its culinary greatness.
We're spending 2 weeks in Europe, starting in France, staying in the Alps in Switzerland, and ending in Milan, Italy.
To see our Milan aperitivo and street food tour with Do Eat Better experience, click on the link above.
But today, we're traveling to Parma for a full day in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy.
We booked our tour through Maestra Travel Experience and chose the TastyBus, an all-day guided food tour.
This tour shows the process of making Parmigiano Reggiano, Prosciutto di Parma, and traditional balsamic vinegar.
The original meeting point for this tour was a parking garage in Parma, an 8-minute walk south of the train station at 9:30 a.m.
However, the day before the tour, our tour guide told us there was a planned demonstration by farmers in the streets of Parma. So she changed the meeting point to the Parma train station.
We left our Milan Airbnb at 7 a.m. to walk to the Gioia metro station.
From the Gioia station, we took the green metro line to Milano Centrale, arriving at 7:20 a.m.
So far, the Italians do these trains better.
We took train AV8803, leaving Milan at 7:50 a.m. and scheduled to arrive in Parma at 8:41.
This is Marika, our tour guide for the day. Because of the farmer demonstration, her new instructions said to meet in front of the train station ticket office at 9:30.
There was one other person joining us on the tour, so at 9:15, Marika led us to the van.
Have you been in Parma the whole time?
I haven't. I've been in Bologna.
At 9:30, we left the Parma train station and drove 15 kilometers south to our first stop of the tour. Caseificio Basilica Nova is a cooperative dairy south of Parma. Farmers from the area bring their milk to the husband and wife team of Paolo and Paola to make the king of cheeses, Parmigiano Reggiano.
Our driver dropped us off at the door, and Marika handed us some plastic coverings for our body, our shoes, and hair to ensure the cheese-making process is kept as clean as possible.
The ground is wet, so please be careful, don't fall down. I don't want to call an ambulance today.
Parmigiano Reggiano is made from 3 simple ingredients: fresh raw milk, salt, and rennet.
We arrived just in time to see Paolo and his helper pull the freshly made cheese out of the huge copper vats. The milk is poured into these huge vats and the rennet is added to help the milk curdle.
The curds are gently stirred and heated until they clump together. The cheesemaker then breaks them up into tiny grains using this tool.
The mixture settles to the bottom of the vats, and that's where we came into the process from this morning's batch.
They lift the large curd masses and hold them up from the bottom using these cloths.
Per organizzarci in casa. If we put the way inside of the containers where it's fresh for the whole day, we don't have.
They also use the leftover curds and whey to make ricotta cheese.
From this large room, Marika led us to the resting room, where the freshly molded balls of curd are stuffed into these molds to help form them into their classic round shape.
Ah, volevo farti portare.
Oggi è una bella giornata anche oggi, eh?
Sì, meno male. Ma tanto domenica piove. Cioè, è bello tutta la settimana.
They place weights on the molds to help press the extra whey out of the cheese.
No. Now I explain to you what's okay? Grazie.
The cheese is wrapped with this band, showing the month and year the cheese was made, the cheesemaker's numbers, and the DOC trademark showing it was made the traditional way.
This is the ID card of the cheese. So all the information about the product are written on these things. This is the PDO. And here we have written consortio, so consortium. But the most important part is this. We start from here. This is the European Community trademark. This is the reason why we can sell our product outside of Italy, and especially in the foreign countries, because in Europe maybe we don't have a lot of problems. But this also makes you recognize that the Parmigiano Reggiano is an Italian product, but it is also a European one. This is the code of the producer. At the end of the day, we understand better that inside of the PDO product, the product is more important than the producer.
After the molding process, the cheese is then soaked in a salt brine bath for around 3 weeks to start developing its salty flavor.
Containers, and we put the cheese inside of the.
Marika then showed us the mother of all rooms here at Caseificio Basilica Nova. How beautiful it is.
This room ensures the cheese is stored at a controlled temperature. The cheese wheels are inspected and turned periodically throughout the aging process, which can last anywhere from 12 months to 80 months.
It's during this step that the cheese hardens, concentrates its flavor, and develops its traditional golden rind.
Paolo even showed us how he tests the cheese wheels to determine if they are ready to eat.
To understand the quality of the product. It's a heat test that is made with this hammer. Okay, so just hear about the sound of the cheese. As you can hear, the sound is the same in the wool wheels. This means that we have no defect inside. This is called first quality Parmigiano Reggiano, and you can recognize it thanks to the fire branding. We have only, the fire branding, nothing else. This is the map of the production area. Now we are in Parma, okay? Then we have Reggio Emilia, where we go this afternoon. Modena, Bologna,
And now it was
and
time to
Mantua.
taste.
Okay, this is the territory.
We
for
tasted a
production.
12, 24, 36, and 80-month Parmigiano Reggiano, and the difference between them was incredible.
Paola also put together a small taste of their fresh ricotta to try as well.
Latte, milk, sale, salt, caglio, rem.
After tasting these amazing cheeses, we were led to their small store, and we bought several slices to take home as presents.
Pretty sure.
No, ma guarda, io
But
proprio...
she said like what he got. I said yes.
Ma guarda, io...
After loading up the van, we drove towards the town of Langherano for our second stop of the tour.
Next, we were trying Prosciutto di Parma at Salumficchio Conti.
Once again, we were given plastic covers to avoid contaminating the factory.
We were here on a cleaning day, so the process of salting and drying these pig legs was put on hold this day.
But Marika led us through the factory and explained the meticulous process of making these hams.
Pig hind legs are used for Prosciutto di Parma, and they are first trimmed to create their signature rounded look.
They are rubbed with sea salt and hung to rest for about a week.
They are salted again and left to rest for up to a month as the salt penetrates the meat, starting the preservation process. The legs are routinely inspected to ensure they pass the final inspection by the consortium making them Prosciutto di Parma.
The unique microclimate of Parma helps cure the ham, and then they are moved to aging cellars where they mature for at least a year. After the factory tour, Marika led us to the tasting room, where we tried several different meats and some wine.
We were given the opportunity to buy some of their products and then made our way to the van to go to our next stop.
Leaving Salumficchio Conti, we drove east for lunch at Osteria La Maestra, a local restaurant in Langherano.
Maestra. So yes, if you say Maestra, you mean teacher. Okay. Maestra, so without the R, is Majesty.
We were served several courses, wine, bread, and dessert.
It was a great way to break up the day and taste more local cuisine.
After about a 45-minute lunch, we drove to the third and final stop of the tour.
Acetaia Picci is a producer of traditional balsamic vinegar in the town of Cavriago, southwest of Parma.
The vinegar here is produced by Marco and his wife in a house dating back to the 1700s.
Marika led us inside to show us where the grape must is boiled to concentrate the juice to start the vinegar making process.
We followed her upstairs to see where the vinegar is aged in sets of wooden barrels called batterias.
They are a set of 4 to 7 sequentially smaller wooden barrels made from different types of wood to impart flavor in the aging process.
As the vinegar ages, contents of each barrel are transferred to the next smallest barrel down the batteria.
Here at Picci, they age their traditional vinegars 10, 12, and 25 years.
That contains the 25 years old, so the gold label.
After an explanation of the vinegar making process, we were given the opportunity to taste and buy the Picci vinegars.
Does your wife share her recipe?
We left the Picci home to make our way back to Parma, where we took the train back to Milan.
This tour with Maestro Travel Experience was one of the highlights of our 2-week European trip.
If you're interested in connecting with passionate artisans, exploring authentic traditions, and discovering the flavors that make Italy unique, you won't want to miss this tour.